The Black Jesus they tried to erase. Simon Kimbangu. Step 1. What if I told you there was a real Black Jesus in Africa? While people were forced to worship the white Jesus of Rome, there was a man in Africa who healed the sick, spoke truth to power, gathered thousands of followers, and was feared by colonial empires. His name was Simon Kimbangu, and the colonizers called him the Black Jesus. Step 2. Who was Simon Kimbangu? Born in Congo, Central Africa, in 1887, he was a spiritual leader and healer who performed miracles, taught that Africans could connect directly to God, no need for European churches or white missionaries, preached self-determination, unity, and awakening. He didn't teach submission, he taught power. Step 3. Why was he dangerous to Europe? Because his message was the opposite of colonial Christianity. He taught that Africans were divine, not cursed, that salvation didn't come from Europe, that Africans didn't need white approval to reach the Creator. People started leaving the church, walking away from colonizer religion, and following him instead. That scared the system. Step 4. What did they do to him? In 1921, Belgian colonizers arrested him. They sentenced him to death, then changed it to life in prison. He spent 30 years in solitary confinement, the longest recorded in modern history. His followers were beaten, killed, exiled, branded as rebels, all because they followed a Black African prophet instead of a white savior. Step 5. He was said to have risen again. After they tried to kill him, stories spread that his energy never died. He reappeared in visions. His teachings lived on, stronger than ever, just like the Jesus story. But this time, it happened in Africa, with a man who looked like you. Step 6. Why you've never heard his name. Because colonizers erased him. They didn't want Black people thinking their own land could produce prophets. They didn't want Africans realizing they had spiritual power without Europe, so they banned his story, they erased his teachings, and they pushed the white Jesus harder than ever. Step 7. Ask yourself the real question. If Jesus was really Black, if he was really born in Africa, do you honestly think Rome would have worshipped him? Look what they did to Kimbangu. They silenced him, tortured him, erased him, and destroyed anyone who followed him. Because a Black savior doesn't serve empire. Final truth, the system wasn't afraid of a savior. They were afraid of a savior who looked like you. A man from Africa with power, spirit, and truth was too dangerous. That's why they buried him and gave you their version instead. If Jesus looked like Kimbangu, he'd still be in prison. They didn't fear the Son of God. They feared the return of Black divinity. Would you like an image or carousel post featuring Simon Kimbangu with this breakdown?